happy new month! Yes, ladies and gentlemen, wow. We have successfully, wrapped up August and now we are in the month of September. So practically we have just 3 months to go before the end of the year. So September is wrapping up the third quarter. Oh, amazing. Congratulations to you and yours for being here and being well. Thank God for the grace upon you, upon your household, for the journey so far since January to now. We know that a lot of things has happened this year. A whole lot has happened to some of us. It's still happening around the globe. But God has been faithful and He has kept us. So yay! Happy new months to you and yours. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Tea Talk with Goodness Usman, your number one real estate talk show in Africa. And thanks to each and every one of you who keep coming back to watch every Sunday. Honestly, you guys, like I always say, are the real MVP. All right. For those of you who are new on this channel and you're wondering, oh, I don't know about this show, what's happening? Well, let me quickly give you a brief introduction. First of all, welcome. Thank you for subscribing to this channel. Trust me when I tell you that you are at the right channel where you're going to be getting useful information that will help you stay informed and make informed decision when you are investing in the Nigerian real estate market. And that's why you should be sharing this video with someone you know who is an existing investor in the Nigerian real estate market or someone who is intending. Now, right here on the show is where we have conversations around issues that are happening in the Nigerian real estate market, where you get education, you have the opportunity to learn and unlearn as well. So we want you to sit back, relax, and what and enjoy the conversation today. Now, it is usually a conversation because we want it to be engaging with you, and that's why we always look forward to you engaging with us in the comment section or when you give us a call and we talk about these things that we discuss on the show. Now, before I go into today's topic, which is very important, I need you guys to really pay attention to what we're going to be talking about today. Now, before then, let's go right away into our ritual. Now, for the new people who are here, we perform a ritual here where you get to grab a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, green tea maybe like mine, or you're grabbing a glass of water, juice, wine, whatever it is that rocks your boat. The essence of this is for you to, have that and they sip, relax, and just flow with the conversation. So let's quickly observe the ritual, shall we? Yes, grab your own cup right now or glass. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have my own cup of tea, green tea, precisely here. So, shall we? All right. Ooh, yeah. Oh, so refreshing. All right, so last week someone said that was the very first episode they saw that there's actually tea in the cup because they used to think that it's an empty cup. Ah, well, I'm glad to know that it's not an empty cup and that you also need to know that I love green tea. So, any opportunity to sip my green tea, I grab it with my full chest. Okay, no, not full chest now, with my full hands. So, you guys can see. Anyways, let's get right into the topic of the day. All right, so this topic we're going to be talking about today is also due to popular demand. Now, for us here, most of the topic we have the conversation around that we come and speak about is mostly from you guys, some of you guys. And sometimes when I see that this is popping up too many times, and then we talk about it so that others who are probably not asking me directly but are confused about it get some level of education. Now, this is on properties, whether a land or house. Now, mostly on houses, you get to see these two words being used more frequently: freehold and leasehold. I'll take that again: freehold and leasehold. So, we're talking about freehold versus leasehold. Now I'm going to be explaining what I know more on the legal term to you all, so that after today, when they're talking about freehold and leasehold in any contract you have, you then understand it more. But we're talking about it not as a title, basically. We're talking about it as how to work with it now, discussing it as it affects you as an investor. So this is the question: someone wants to buy a property, especially a house, and then they were wondering if it's a leasehold or a freehold. So a lot of the time, when you're buying a house, you get to have those kind of questions, or you get to see some contracts saying leasehold and freehold. So some people get very confused, especially when they hear leasehold, or they see in their contracts that, oh, this property is on lease for a certain period of time and all of that. So what I'm going to start with, and hey, for those of you who would like to further investigate this with your lawyer, please, when you're doing that, ensure that your lawyer is a real estate lawyer. A lawyer, a regular normal lawyer who goes to court day to day, who don't do really real estate transactions, do not understand these things. I've seen this happen over the years, and some people just say, oh, my lawyer is going to do this, that. And then when they ask the question, do we the call party, you just know that, oh, this one is not a real estate lawyer. And probably it's not like they don't know what they're doing, but when it comes to being versed in the knowledge of the law that governs real estate, they do not know the nitty-gritty of it. And in this context, having the court knowledge is just very important. Okay, so I advise you as a serial real estate investor to always make sure that when you're engaging the services of a lawyer, let it be a real estate lawyer, not a lawyer that goes to court that, I mean, handle normal or regular cases. I don't have to put it in terms of it, but please just make sure, because this will help you, and yes, it will definitely help you. All right. So leasehold, freehold. We get to hear that. In fact, it became freehold became more very a popular term that was used in recent time, the last 2 3 years, and this is because of those cheap lands that are being sold in Ekpe. So you hear, oh, it's freehold, oh, it's freehold, oh, it's freehold, da 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 da. That word became widely used, and then it was loosely used. That it's kind of been bastardized, if you ask me. And then even some realtors, you see them using the term, they kind of get confused as to what that even really means. But let's even start from the origin of what a freehold and a leasehold mean. Now, in the context of not just the land, but apartments, houses, duplex, terrace. Well, there's a house on the land. When you hear freehold, leasehold, what does it mean? Now, first of all, let me say this and clear it. There is no longer freehold in Lagos. I'm going to strictly stay within Lagos State, okay? Because the laws that govern properties in Abuja is completely different from Lagos State. Completely. Same thing is Ogun State, and you will see peculiarities between these states, but let's stay within Lagos State for now, because I mean our portfolios are higher more in Lagos. So what I'm talking about is strictly within Lagos for now. Now we can extend it much on another conversation. Now, when it comes to land use arts from 1978, right? We all know that that law gave governments the power, the autonomy to all the land of the land. So that's land use art. I have a lot of people who feel that that should be abolished. They should cancel it and bring in something else, because it has given power, all the power to the government. And that's why we say you can't, sometimes we use the term, you can't fight the government. Government are the alpha and omega, they are the bobo. When it comes to real estate, you can decide to do anything they want. So based on that is what kind of eradicated freehold. Okay. And that was when also, that's where the C of O comes into play. That's when title comes into play. Okay, so from when they introduced in C of O, of course, the regime of Fashola is when they even eradicated Gazette, right? Now, Gazette used to be a thing. The process used to be, it's a title rather. The process used to be that you get a virgin land, you go and apply for get it excised, and when it's excised, the government publish it into a daily publication notifying the general citizen that this land is now free for you to have it. Remember, the Land Use Act made them, gave the entire autonomy to them. So having known that the citizen of the land will need to make use of land for home, shelter, and day-to-day activity, businesses and all of that, they needed to do that gazette processes. So hence why we have that gazette processes. So when it's now gazetted, they publish it and tell you that, oh, you can now freely make use of this part, that part, that part. Is no longer for government. Government has not earmarked it for any of their use, okay, or infrastructure. Now that gazette you hear about is a newspaper publication. But the regime of ex-governor Obatunde Fashola, he eradicated that and then introduced C of O into the picture. That was in the 90, I think 92 or 3. That was when it was introduced into, C of O was introduced. And that's why you will not find any C of O right now that is 30 years, 40 years usage. You will not see that. All right, now when C of O came into the picture, the validity of C of O is 99 years. Now, I like to do all of this explanation in plain terms so that I don't want to use any bogus or complicated terminology that will get you guys confused. For those of you who have been following us on this channel, you know that we like to go with the simplest and the simplest term so that everyone from different walks of life will get to understand what I'm saying. All right. That's why you see me probably avoiding to use some terminologies and just sticking to the simplest and the simplest explanation. Now, because a C of O has a duration of 99 years, which after 99 years, the generation who is alive that owns that property will have to reapply. Okay. Now we have not gotten to any, none of us have experienced that. No generation have experienced that now. So probably, but what the law says is that you come back and reapply and then reprocess it, and then they probably give you another 99 or they're going to give you 40, whatever it is at that decade or that generation, because we don't know the government that would have come into power before the 99 years. We don't know if the land use act have been cancelled. We don't know if there's another government that will come and say, oh, it's no longer going to be C of O, it's going to be Goodness O or Usman D or whatever the case were. Because I mean, we a lot of us speaking right now, that 99 years without going, it will be our great grandkids or something. So when that happens, at that generation will be the ones to then, take it up from there. However, the validity on your C of O is 99 years. Okay. So that is why it is now called leasehold. Hello. That's why it is called leasehold. So for some of you who have bought a property, maybe terrace, apartment, or duplexes, and then in your contract or in your deed, they say is lease. Some people say it's sublease, some people say it's deed of sublease, some say it's deed of assignment. Now, let me clarify this. Now, legally, for the investigation I've done with several real estate lawyers, they tell you that is when you're buying a house, it's supposed to be a deed of assignment. Most of the houses we even sell in Accra is deed of assignment, but you will find some other people who do deed of sublease. And I've read those contracts and reviewed it with some couple of lawyers. And in a way, I think they're just using different English. It's about the same thing. So don't fret if you're getting a deed of sublease and you're feeling, oh, is lease. They're leasing the property for me for 25 years, for 30 years, for 50 years, for 70 years, after which the property is no longer my own. No, that is not correct. And that's why I always advise when you have a contract, especially your contract of sale and your deed of assignment, it should be interpreted by your lawyer. I can read, by the virtue of what I do as a realtor, and by the virtue of me engaging with several lawyers, trying to understand the term and all of that, these clauses. Trust me, I am not still a lawyer. I am a realtor. It still does not make me a lawyer. There are certain clauses that it will still take me a while before I will understand it. That is why it is better that a lawyer, a real estate lawyer, reads your contract and understand it for you, interpret it to your own words, because they have those hidden clauses that no matter, you will read it in normal term, I mean English, you think that's what it means, but legally it can put you in trouble. Okay, so let's not overemphasize. So I'm going to be kind of emphasizing on the importance of having your lawyer to read your contract, not just your realtor. You read it and have your lawyer to read it as a deed of the assignment, because right there you then get all of the information. Now, if you have any property you've bought before, or then they say that you're leasing it to you for 25 years, I don't think that is legally accepted, Because the question is, such property has a C of O, obviously. Now, if it has a C of O, the C of O is the numbers of years valid on the C of O. So let's say, let me use let me use Meridian Boulevard, Paragon Terraces now. Paragon Terraces C of O is 2020 or 2021 or thereabout. I can't really confirm. I can't find it. I was trying to get it. But let's say it was 2020. I think it was 2020, 2021. So let's say it's 2021. So it means just 3 years down the line. Now, 99 years minus 3 years is what? 97 years. So when you're buying, for those of you who have bought houses in Paragon, you will see that your in fact, first of all, your deed is deed of assignment. It's not deed of sublease. Okay. Now, if you were to be deed of sublease, it's still validity will still be 97 years or 96 years. I'm sorry, guys. It will be 96 years that will be there. And what that is saying is that you will have to renew the title on the property. It's not that you're losing your house. Do you guys understand? Because the land on which these houses stand on has a validity for 99 years. You only subtract the number of years that's been used so far. We have some C of O that's been 20 years down the line, 10 years down the line. All you just do is you remove it. And that's what they're going to be stating in your deed of assignment or deed of sublease. Especially those that write deed of sublease. I don't really have too much companies that have their deed of assignment as deed of sublease. But right now, I'm paying attention and I'm interested in those of you who say, oh, you have a deed of sublease. Because some people told me, oh, they wanted to buy an apartment, I think on the mainland, and they told them that it will only be subleased for 25 years or 35 years. I can't remember the exact figure. And I'm like, that's not right. To be honest, it is not right, because if they see of old property, what do they mean 25 years? The COP is not going to expire. So what happens? So there's a lot of questions there. You should ask a lot of questions. You should ask them. And sometimes even the lawyer of some of these companies don't even understand these things. I have spoken to some of these real estate companies, even especially their sales reps and all of those, their staff, they don't even understand these things. That's why it's important you speak to the legal representative of the company you're dealing with. If you don't get your own, peradventure you don't have your own lawyer, maybe at that time, okay? But it's always important that you have your lawyer to check these things and then ask questions, because some of them just even right. Some of these developers, lawyers are not real estate. They just some of them just carry one lawyer that comes and then is learning the ropes in real estate. So some of those terminologies or the clauses they put there, they don't also understand, because if your C of O is 80 years, for instance, for it to expire, and then you put it in your deed of sublease or deed of assignment that's 25 years or 30 years, that's kind of illegal. Okay, because are you going to sell the property to somebody else who the person will not use it for the remaining duration on the C of O? What's this? That's kind of dramatic. So I just let us talk about this because I've seen you guys asking me this question. I've seen some of you want to buy a property, but then you're saying they tell you, oh, it's sublease, and then you run away. Oh, is freehold. You say, oh, if it's freehold, it's good. If it's sublease, it's not. In fact, extensively, this conversation, I am still trying to get a lawyer who can come to us with us here, sit with me here, and then let's extensively discuss this. Because again, when a lawyer breaks this down, they will now use the right terminologies. You guys already know me. I avoid using any terminologies that will complicate issues for you. But when a lawyer, that's what they do day to day. They will tell you, break it down further. So I'm really interested. I'm still working on it. And then once I get someone some of these people are just camera shy. They don't, due to their profession, they don't want to come out and all that. So hopefully I'll get someone who will come back here with me, and then we'll still have a part two of this conversation. But hey, when you hear sublease, ask question. What do they mean by sublease? If they tell you sublease, what they are saying is that you will renew after the C of O expire. It's not that you're losing your ownership. Okay? It's not like, oh, you're going to lose your house after that numbers of years. You're not losing your property. The generation that is owning that property at that time, we have to renew the C of O so that they can continue to be able, all right, so they can be able to continue to use that title. Now, the extension of this conversation is when you have a C of O on the property. So, I mean, Paragon Terrace has the C of O, the Avocado, Alexander Court, Peak Resort, all of those places, right? Now, when you buy a property in there, you get to now do the perfection into governor's consent. That's the next question. What happens when it's still 99 years and you have done the conversation. You have converted to governance consent. The truth is, you are still riding on that because the origin of your governance consent is not governance consent. It has the roots, and the root is the C of O. So I just needed to clear this. I hope this is explanatory enough. I hope this has cleared any form of doubt or question you have. But if you still want us to talk about it, I'm available. Just give me a call or put it in the comment section. Let's interact. I like it when we were really interact in the comment section. Is you get to hear other opinions. So if you're a lawyer, a real estate lawyer, you're watching me, put it in the comment section. What do you think? What's your opinion here? Do you want to help us, straight explain this further? Please educate us, and we are here to learn and unlearn. So, ladies and gentlemen, going forward, when you are buying a property and you hear the word sublease or freehold and all of that, you then know what to do. Just ask more questions, get more clarification, understand what they mean by that, and then proceed with the transaction if you're okay with the explanation given you. Then, secondly, do not underestimate engaging the services of your lawyer reading through this document. Sometimes some of you will say, "Oh, I understand the term by English languages." I think a lot of the time, some of those clauses, even though they are written in English, it's still best interpreted by a lawyer because you just don't get it fully when a lawyer, I mean, you don't get it fully on your own compared to when a lawyer just reads those things for you. All right. So thank you so much. I hope you have been able to get one or two things here today. And hey, I will be in the comment section. Let's take it up. Let's continue the conversation right there. Thank you so much for everyone who keep watching our videos every time we upload every day. Yes, we upload videos every day, Monday to Sunday. And I want to say thank you. We have some very faithful people who always look forward to we uploading videos. Thank you so much. And of course, those of you who watch the show, thank you for doing so. And most importantly, those of you who have patronized us, who will patronize us, who are still patronizing us, thank you so much. Because at the end of the day, that's the greatest motivation that we need. When you patronize us on the properties we have in our listing, then you give us the willpower to keep doing more. Actually, this show and the Know Your Neighborhood series. Yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been my pleasure doing this with you guys today. I will see you guys in the next episode or the next video that we upload, please. So for us in Nigeria Realty 24/7, we're very much interested in your safety. And that's why I always say to you that you should please be safe wherever you're watching us from, Canada, US, Europe, everywhere, anywhere around the globe that you are. And hey, because we also know that you are awesome, that's why we always say that you should remain awesome just the way you are. My name remains Goodness Usman. I am the Queen of Landlord Makers, your beautiful host, and I say to you guys, what double?